Kanari Mugume, who is aboard the yellow bus now on its way to actually Kyambogo here for nominations.
Thank you, Sabit. Yes, I am inside the yellow bus and we've just reached Kyambogo here in Nakawa, where the NRM party expects to actually hand over their candidate, Yoweri Museveni, for nomination. I'm here seated right next to Dr. Hakana Rugunda. Doctor, you're live on NBS television. Talk to us, what's the agenda for this morning and how were the 10 nominees chosen?
Well, the agenda is nomination by the National Electoral Commission of the presidential candidate of the National Resistance Movement to compete for the presidency of the country, and Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, our candidate, is going to be nominated.
You are one of the nominees. What's your take on the people that have surrounded this place and are in NRM yellow t-shirts, and do you fear that they might make a procession, which is really something that the Electoral Commission said shouldn't happen?
The security forces will ensure that law and order are kept and that the guidelines as given by the Electoral Commission are followed.
Talk to us about the campaign slogan for 2020-2021, securing your future. What exactly is inside this promise that the NRM has fronted this time around?
Ugandans for many years suffered insecurity, brutalization, tyranny, and they were liberated by the National Resistance Movement. They are happy, and they would like this happiness, this prosperity, this progress to be the future of their country. Hence, the National Resistance Movement will focus to ensure that the well-being, the security of the people of Uganda will continue to improve. So really securing the future of Ugandans is our theme now, to make sure that they continue to improve economically, security continues to be maintained, and by the way, the future of Uganda and Ugandans is organically linked to the future of East Africa and Africa. So we are looking at Uganda, looking at East Africa, and looking at the continent.
In the afternoon, you hope to launch the manifesto of the NRM. What should Ugandans look forward to?
His Excellency the President, who is also our official candidate, will tell the people of Uganda what in the next 5 years he as President and the National Resistance Movement will be doing for the country to consolidate this security for now and security for the future, and also focus on the improvement of the well-being, living conditions of the people of Uganda, and indeed the whole program of modernization of our country. So this will be the essential element that the President will be communicating to the people of Uganda.
Thank you very much. You've been live on NBS television. This is Dr. Hakana Rugunda, who is one of the nominees of the NRM party who are going to nominate the candidate. That is Yoweri Museveni. In the bus, I have other nominees, including the Secretary General here of the NRM party, Justin Kasule Lumumba, and the other nominees from different parts of the country. Now, let me just go and maybe have a conversation with some of them to just tell me how they feel about this day. Hi, good morning. What's your name? If you could just stand up. You're live on NBS television. What's your name?
My name is Seku Helen. I'm a seconder to His Excellency Yoweri Museveni, who's the presidential aspirant 2021-2026.
Where are you from?
I'm from Wakiso. I reside in Namugongo.
Okay. How do you feel about being chosen as one of the seconders?
I feel so happy as a Muzukulu at this occasion, because amidst all the 45 million Ugandans and the youths there, who am I? I'm very proud of my candidate, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for he has been a pathfinder for us, the youth in this country, and he has secured a good future and is still securing a good future for us as youths in this country.
Thank you. Your names?
My name is Shamso Bakari.
Where are you from and how do you feel about today?
Okay, I'm from Senge Wakiso. I'm very happy today to be the second of Mr. President, and I'm proud to be the one who nominated to come and support him.
Okay. Thank you very much. And maybe lastly, I'll say your name.
I'm a retired captain.
Oh, Captain.
Haji Muhammad Muviru.
Captain Miru, good to hear from you again. How do you feel about being chosen as one of the seconders of...
Feel very, very, very happy because among the veterans, I'm the one who was selected in Uganda to come and second my NRM flag bearer candidate, Afande Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. So I'm feeling happy, very, very happy.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, the bus is here. It has the 10 nominees. Let's maybe just get out and just give you a feel. What I'm told is that the candidate is actually about to arrive here because his time is set for 10 a.m. And therefore, we'll be seeing the events that follow thereafter. The ones that are getting out of the bus are the 10 seconders that have been chosen to nominate the NRM party candidate, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Part of the people who have been chosen, you have the Secretary General of the NRM party, you have Dr. Hakana Rugunda, and you also have Alhaj Moses Chigongo, who is the Vice National Chairperson. What we've been told is that actually the president and also the NRM party flag bearer has arrived and is due for nomination in just a bit. Just follow events and see how they go. Of course, we know that they have been informed that the candidate for NRM party has actually reached here in Kyambogo and is due for nomination. We're just a few minutes away. If you could just look at the time, it's just 19 minutes away from 10 a.m., the time that he has been asked to come through at the Kyambogo Center for nominations and is due for nomination at 10 in the morning. What is quite interesting about today's nomination is that the majority, or let's say 80% of the nominees have actually been chosen from the young people. And when you speak to them, you can hear that the zeal of the young people, talking about the campaign slogan, securing your future. So let's just see how events will turn out. After nomination, they'll be headed for the party manifesto launch, which is due for the afternoon at Speak Resort Munyonyo. But these are the seconders, been actually told they have been chosen from different parts of the country. But I can tell you that 80% of them are actually from the young generation, those below the age of 35 and so. This is the entry of the nominees. We'll be broadcasting these events until actually. So let's just cross over. We're coming to you live from Kyambogo, here where the nominees of the NRM party candidate are. You can see 10 of them, including the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Hakana Rugunda, the NRM Vice National Chairperson, Alhaj Moses Chigongo. We have, of course, Captain Mubiru, who is also part of them. We also have the Director of Communications, this is Emmanuel Dombo, and other young people who are from different parts of the country. One informed me that she is from, of course, Karamoja. The others informed me that from Wakiso. So these are the 10 nominees due. So the pictures you are seeing right now, are pictures from Nakawa Junction. Indications actually tell us and inform us that the candidate for NRM is about to arrive here. So the nominees or the seconders actually arrived first. But those pictures you're seeing live from Nakawa Junction indicate that their candidate actually, the convoy of the NRM candidate has arrived around Nakawa, and we can now authoritatively tell you that the candidate for NRM is just around the corner. And amidst a number of young people clad in yellow masks and the t-shirts of yellow, there is a lot of chanting and celebrations along the road. Traditional dance coming along through there. Those are pictures indicating that the NRM candidate has actually arrived in Nakawa around Kyambogo, and we'll be broadcasting these events to see how the nomination is likely going to turn out. Now, what we see right there is, of course, the acting spokesperson of the Electoral Commission, Paul Bukenya, giving a brief right there from the tent of the Electoral Commission, a brief on how events are going to go about. The convoy of the NRM candidate, Yoweri Museveni, has actually reached the Nakawa junction, and I can inform you that that convoy is actually headed to this direction where the nomination of 10 a.m. NRM candidate. There are a lot of people who have joined the road, and this is actually quite interesting because what we know and what we hear is that there's not supposed to be any procession, but I can see some of the motorcade. People are trying to block the road to maybe have a chat with the NRM candidate, but the events we're seeing right here, even at the entry of the nomination center in Kyambogo, indicates that the motorcade carrying the candidate of NRM, accompanied by the wife and also the First Lady, that is right there, Janet Kataha Museveni. He is headed, and they are headed to the Kyambogo main nomination center. People are chanting and they are chasing the convoy. Quite interesting there, even when the Electoral Commission said that there shouldn't be any procession. But the motorcade has actually made entry to the nomination center here at Kyambogo. And I can authoritatively inform you that the motorcade carrying the NRM candidate has made entry towards the nomination center, and people are trying to chase the convoy. This is quite contrary to what the Electoral Commission has been saying, no procession. There has to be a number of people who are limited. The seconders, the 10 of them, have already been allowed to enter through. And but let's just observe events here as the NRM candidate, but also president for the Republic of Uganda, makes entry. We'll be observing events, especially on the observation of the standard operating procedures, because we know that there has to be enough social distancing. Everyone needs to be in a mask. So what we actually want to make sure that we observe all those events. So let me just hand over to Joseph Sabiti, who is on the other side, to just give us events from his perspective inside the Electoral Commission tent. Sabit Joseph, what's the update coming on that side?
All right, we're standing by for the arrival of candidate number one, the incumbent and president of the Republic, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who is expected to be arriving any minute from now. We see the movement of the security. The team that will be seconding him has already moved to the holding tent. If I can just move you there to give you an idea of who is on the team. We see the first national vice chairperson of the NRM, Alhaj Moses Chigongo, we see as well. All right, and so we also gather that the president is about 3 minutes away from here. We're standing by for his arrival. When he makes his way through here, as per the procedure that has been put in place by the Electoral Commission, he will go to the holding tent where the protocol team has organized the people who will receive him. And then after that, he will proceed and be attended to by the Independent Electoral Commission. And each candidate, according to the Electoral Commission guidelines, will be attended to individually. And so we continue to keep an eye on the presidential convoy, looking through where it is supposed to be arriving from. I think we actually see the preliminary vehicles of his security detail already here, and the team that is supposed to be receiving him already standing in the holding part of the nomination venue. And so any minute from now, we expect the head of state, who is also the commander-in-chief of the armed forces and incumbent. The Electoral Commission has said he is entitled to all his privileges as president, even in this election period, because according to the Electoral Commission chief, the law does not bar him and does not stop him from executing his duties as the president of the Republic. And so we're looking forward to how the arrival will be. We see a lot of movement here. If you can just come with me to the exact place where the people who are receiving him are waiting for him from. We have a team of the top brass in the NRM there, actually, first led by Alhaj Moses Chigongo, Prime Minister Dr. Ruakana Rugunda, and as well as the Secretary General of the NRM party, the Honorable Justin Kasule Lumumba, standing by there, awaiting the arrival of their candidate, who is also the head of state. And so right there, the security detail makes their way through. I will show you a bit of what's happening at the tent where the president is expected to access. And so the initial security details already making their way in. That means the president, and right there, the vehicle flying the flag of the country and the coat of arms makes its way here. A candidate, or rather candidate president, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, has arrived at the nomination venue here at Kyambogo University, where the nomination exercise is expected to take the next 2 days. And right there, flying the flag of the country and the coat of arms, a sign that he holds state power, escorted by the elite Special Forces Command, the unit in charge of the security of the presidency. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who is also a candidate in this election, makes his way here. He proceeds straight to the holding tent, according to the guidance of the Electoral Commission. If we can just move with this motorcade here to show you the candidate there, flanked by the First Lady, the Honorable Janet Kataha Museveni. Both of them are clad in their traditional yellow attires, a symbol of the NRM and a known color of the party. And right here, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in his trademark hat, flanked by the First Lady, the Honorable Janet Kataha Museveni, arrives here for nomination at the Kyambogo University grounds, where today, in a few hours' time, he will be declared a candidate after duly being nominated by the Independent Electoral Commission. President Yoweri Museveni right there moves to his team that should be welcoming him right there, comprising of Alhaj Moses Chigongo, the first national vice chairman of the NRM, the Secretary General of the NRM party, the Honorable Justin Kasule Lumumba, and as well as the team that has been elected to second the president right here. And according to the COVID regulations, the president is not shaking hands. He's just waving to the people here, flanked by the First Lady, Janet Kataha Museveni, and as well as the top brass of the party there have come out to nominate him. And so he heads to the holding tent before he will be actually escorted to the tent where he will be duly declared a candidate. And so the president right there speaking to his people.
Excuse me. Okay, open up.
And right there, he walks straight into the tent, the NRM candidate, flanked by the First Lady, and as well as a team from the NRM party. They walk into the tent where he will go through the process of being nominated to actually be declared a candidate in this election. And the first candidate on the nomination calendar right here, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, flanked by the First Lady, Janet Kataha Museveni, and the top brass from actually the National Resistance Movement Party make their way here. And this is where he will be taking his seat before he is duly nominated by the Independent Electoral Commission as a candidate in this election. For the words of prayer, and we welcome the first aspiring candidate who has arrived and on time, aspiring candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. I'd like to, this moment, invite the Acting Secretary Electoral Commission, Mr. Mlekwa Leonard, to give us brief remarks and invite the returning officer to commence with the nomination process. Thank you, sir.
MC. Chairman Electoral Commission, Deputy Chairperson, Commissioners, and the invited guests. And I now bid this to the first aspiring candidate. You are all welcome to this morning's function. Every 5 years, we have to have election. The citizens of Uganda
confirm the leaders they want to lead. We have had a journey, dear invited guests and first aspiring candidate, which we have traveled since December 2018 when we launched the roadmap. And the highlights of that is that we had to go in the villages, identify areas where the leaders would represent at the lowest level of sub-county. The points where the voters would go to cast their votes in each of the electoral areas. And this was in preparation for the general update of the voters register, which activity we have also achieved. Thereafter, we took back the register to the community to confirm their presence and also to advise the Electoral Commission on who may be on the register by error. Mr. Chairman, that activity was also executed and we have achieved so far. Chair and invited guests and our aspiring candidate, we all know, as we progressed with our roadmap, the COVID-19 pandemic came in and we were affected. However, because we are directed by the Constitution to conduct elections, we had to ensure that we put measures in place as guided by government, as guided by the Minister of Health. And Chair, today we are here on one of the key milestones to nominate or to go through a process to identify Ugandan citizens